guys? How's it going? Spring break. Yeah. It's like 10:30 at night, and I know I'm doing this pretty late, but it's probably going to be posted either tomorrow or Wednesday or something. Just a little update. Finally got a job. Woo. I might be fired after making this video. Not going to talk smack about the company. Fucking honor, awesome, cool shit. I haven't done anything terrible about it and done anything wrong. No, it's just because I'm going to be really explicit here. So, warning. This is an explicit, vile, angry rant. So, let's get to it. Not necessarily a rant, but more or less like a response reaction to video. So, let's get to it. I just sat through probably not only one of the most disgusting fucking things ever, but also one of the most depressing and most vile acts of anti-journalism that I've ever goddamn seen. Period. This is just fucking pitiful. I'm gonna put a link to this video in the description. But what it is CNN was doing a report on the Steubenville rapists, who yesterday were charged and were found guilty of rape. Awesome. Hope they fucking get beaten to shreds. But CNN doesn't feel that way. CNN decided instead to basically make us feel sorry for these rapists. By the way, I want to make this clear. They're rapists. And they posted, if you have no idea what the story is, basically Anonymous reposted a video from Malik, don't know the last name, they're going to mention it in the news report, and Trent May. Of Trent May drunkenly laughing his ass off after raping a girl for like 1 hour or so. Coming out laughing and making jokes about how she's so knocked out, she has no idea what the fuck's going on. Saying shit like, she's so dead, man. She's so fucking dead. Which pissed me off. Just watching that video, I wanted to strangle these motherfuckers. So, they were tried, and they were found guilty. Let's see what CNN has to say about this issue. I hope they talk about the poor rape victim and discuss what she's been going through, and hopefully discuss that everything will be okay and how she needs to, how she could get back to reality. Let's hope that's a part of this, right? Let's hope.
This is CNN Breaking News.
I'm Candy Crowley in Washington. Reliable Sources is just ahead, but first, a breaking story we're following. 2-star high school football players in Steubenville, Ohio, have been found guilty of raping a West Virginia teenager. The story has attracted national attention. The judge just ruled a few moments ago. Listen in.
In this case, regarding the charges of rape, both defendants, Malik Richmond and Trenton Mays, are committed to the Department of Youth Services for a minimum period of 1 year, a maximum period till you're 21.
Again, this case was played out in juvenile court. That is why there is a judge, no jury. He decided on the verdict, as well as you heard there talking about the sentence. We want to go now to CNN's Poppy Harlow. She is in Steubenville, has been covering this trial. I cannot imagine, having just watched this on the feed coming in, how emotional that must have been sitting in the courtroom.
Now, they're going to mention a little bit later how emotional it was. Let me just sum up what the court case was. Not the doctor, fucking wrong field. Judge came in, said, you fucking scumbags are going to prison for a year, if not a maximum till you're 21, so that we can then transfer you to an actual prison. By the way, they only got to juvenile fucking detention, which, for a rape case, slap on the wrist. Fucking pathetic. Anyway, they then would go on and do this such a heartfelt apology. In actuality, it was just them having fucking crocodile tears, crying about the fact that they've fucked up because they're idiots. They're a bunch of fucking knucklehead rapist scum. And now Poppy Harlow is going to tell you how emotional it was. Let's listen in and see how emotional it was.
I've never experienced anything like it, Candy. It was incredibly emotional, incredibly difficult even for an outsider like me to watch what happened as these two young men that had such promising futures, star football players, very good students, literally watched as they believed their life fell apart. One of the young men, Malik Richmond, when that sentence came down, he collapsed. He collapsed in the arms of his attorney, Walter Madison.
All right, so you caught a little bit of that. We'll get into a little bit more. Malik Richardson, Trent Mays, promising football stars. Promising football stars. It's so emotional to see their lives ruined. Their lives thrown away because they decided to be fucking assholes and rape a bitch. It's so depressing. Where's the coverage of the rape victim? Now, if she didn't want to be recorded, that's understandable. But to glorify the rapists, which is what they fucking did. Oh, Malik Richards, he stumbled when he got the guilty verdict, and he was crying and... These two motherfuckers get their name displayed. They raped a 16-year-old girl. And they are being sentenced to detention. To juvenile detention. And Poppy Harlow, the fucking moron journalist that she is, thinks, oh, I feel so sorry for these two young kids. They're gonna be considered sex offenders for the rest of their lives. You fucking kidding me? You're feeling sorry for the rapists? For the fucking rapists? How about the poor victim? How about that? How about feeling sorry for the fact that the victim had to go through such trauma? Oh no, who gives a shit about the victim? She was a whore anyway. She drank. She was a fucking alcoholic whore. She sucked them off both because she's a fucking slut bitch. That's the reason why they didn't cover it. It's fucking pathetic. This poor 16-year-old girl was molested, was sexually harassed, and was fucking raped by these two scumbags. And this is not like high school level bullshit. This isn't, the local news. This is CNN. National fucking news is trying to tell you to feel sorry for the rapists. The fucking rapists. It's so horrible. Oh, they had such promising careers. This is the prime fucking example of jockorama. And when I say jockorama is the idea of sports figures getting away with murder just because they play sports. This is the prime fucking example right here. I've seen this shit firsthand, where people involved in a football team at my high school got my principal fired. Why? Because the principal did things that they disagreed with. And so those kids' parents decided to say, hey, you know what? You either take him out of the you either take him out of the principal position, you get him fired, or you're not going to have a good football team or what have you. And guess what? After sitting at a public hearing of this principal's firing, of his termination, after sitting there for 5, 6, 7 hours, about 5 hours, I'd say, they came back with a decision of, oh yeah, we're going to fire him. After so many people told them, why are you firing him? He's a great goddamn principal. How dare you? Why are you firing him? They're like, nope. He's fired. Why? Because the sports department, because the athletics department wanted his head. And that was the start of what I'd like to call Jockorama. These motherfuckers, a part of these sports teams, a part of these sports, you know, part of the football team specifically, basketball team, you know, golf, fucking baseball, etc. They're getting away with controlling these fucking schools, getting away with controlling these fucking townships just because they know how to throw a ball. Meanwhile, the future cancer curers and, you know, the future engineers and scientists, they're getting flack and shit. But meanwhile, we put a fucking quarterback, a guy who's only known to throw a goddamn ball. Oh, he's famous for throwing a ball. Good on him. Oh, wow, what a great hero. We put him on a fucking pedestal and we kick off anybody who could possibly change the world one day. It's fucking pathetic. And this is the prime fucking example of this bullshit. We should feel sorry for these two football players for raping a female. For raping her. And then posting a video on YouTube saying, she was so dead, man. She was deader than Michael Jackson, man. She was so fucking dead. She was so fucking dead, man. It's pathetic. But let's continue this great journalism here by Poppy Harlow. Because we just fucking hit the iceberg here. Now we're about to, now we're about to crash the motherfucking Hindenburg on this shit. Because it's going to get worse.
He said to him, my life is over. No one is going to want me now. Very serious crime here. Both found guilty of raping the 16-year-old girl at a series of parties back in August. Alcohol-fueled parties. Alcohol, a huge part in this. But
you think these two were drunk? You honestly think that these two motherfuckers did this because they were drunk? No. They knew what they were doing. If you were drunk, you would not know shit. You'd be stumbling around like a fucking idiot, puking on yourself. These guys were not drunk. These guys had alcohol in their system, yes. But they were not drunk. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were going to take advantage of this girl who had no idea what was going on. She drank too much beer. She was the drunk one. And they went out, they snatched her up, put her in a fucking room and raped her, and then made a video glorifying it. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. But we should feel sorry for them because they knew how to throw a ball. Fuck you.
Trent Mays was also found guilty on a second count, and that is of felony illegal use of a minor in nudity-oriented material because he took a photograph of the victim laying naked on the floor that night. Trent Mays will serve 2 years in a juvenile detention facility. Malik Richmond will serve 1 year on that one count that he was found guilty for. But if
you guys don't know, Trent Mays was the fucking genius in front of the camera who was laughing like a hyena about, I raped her so dead, she was so dead. That was Trent Mays. And Malik, if I'm not mistaken, was the cameraman. I think he was the cameraman. I'm not sure. But anyway, let's continue on with this great fucking story. Oh, poor Trent Mays. He's getting 2 years for being a jack-off. Oh, man. Tap on the wrist. These people should be fucking hung.
I want to let our viewers listen because for the first time in this entire trial, we have now heard from the two young men.
First time from this trial. Oh, you didn't watch that 12-minute video? Oh, I can see why you didn't watch that 12-minute video, because you're not a journalist. Let me tell you what that 12-minute video conveyed. These two fucking scumbags felt no sympathy for their victim. They raped her, and they laughed about it. They threw some brews about it. They made jokes about her. And they thought they were going to get away with it scot-fucking-free. Because they're fucking scum. That's the first time we heard them. Now we're going to hear their testimony. She's going to bring up their testimony. Let's listen in, and if you can't hear it, I'll tell you it afterwards. Let's listen in on the great, fantastic, awesome fucking testimony of these two fucking scumbags. Oh, by the way, if you can't hear any of this, I'm going to link the actual video down below in the description. So if you can't hear anything or, you want to watch the actual video, link in the description.
Trent Mays stood up apologizing to the victim's family in court. After him, Malik Richmond. Listen.
Say.
I would truly like to apologize to Elena, her family, my family, and the community. No picture should have been sent around, let alone even taken. That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay, before we get to Malik Richmond, that was Trent Mays. Let me explain, for people who didn't hear that, I'll try to reiterate what he basically said. I feel sorry to my community, to my family, and to my friends for taking pictures of a raped person. I shouldn't have taken pictures of a raped person, that is all. You notice something missing? Notice anything missing? Let's talk about it. Rape victim. He raped the rape victim, joked about the rape victim, had it recorded on a fucking webcam or a fucking camera, posted it on fucking YouTube. And all he's sorry for is taking pictures of an unconscious, naked, raped victim. And if you noticed from the fucking, from the apology right there, if you're not understanding from this video, then from the description after watching it, this motherfucker has no goddamn sympathy. He just went up there and was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I apologize, I sit down. That's it. One of those deals where after you get your hand caught in the cookie jar, oh, I'm sorry, Mom, I didn't mean to take the cookies from the cookie jar, I apologize. Fucking pathetic. This is honest to God fucking pathetic. Now we're going to listen in on Malik Richards, who's going to give us a really heartfelt apology.
I would like to apologize to you people. I had no intention to do anything like that. And I'm sorry to put you guys through this. But I just like to thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't want to thank you.
From either source, mine, or the actual video, you can understand that this guy, he's walking up there, he's sobbing, he's like, I'm so sorry, I didn't want to put your girl in this position, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Fucking crocodile tears. Motherfucking crocodile tears. He wanted that goddamn courtroom to look at him and say, oh, my heart. That poor little kid. Who gives a shit about that poor 16-year-old whore? Oh, I'm so sorry, Malik. I'm so sorry. You want cookies and milk? It's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. He just stumbles up. You even notice, Trent Mays, he just outright was like, oh, I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. I fucked her. Who cares? I don't give a fuck. I'll do it again. I don't give a shit. But Malik, he was smart enough to know that he wanted the crowd on his side. So he got up and he did this theatrical performance about how, I'm so sorry for raping your girl. Maybe instead of a fucking crocodile tear-filled apology, maybe you shouldn't have fucking raped their daughter. Just maybe. You shouldn't have raped their fucking daughter. And then recorded a video with your hunky-dory, drunk-ass fucking bullshit, bitch-ass fucking friend laughing like a hyena because he raped a girl. Maybe you shouldn't have done that. instead of, doing it and then, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I don't feel any fucking sympathy for this fucking jack-off. But we're supposed to feel sorry. Why? Because he was a football player. Because he threw a ball. Oh, good for you. You know how to throw balls. Awesome. Great. You're still a fucking rapist. Enjoy your time in fucking juvie. And I hope you get bumped up to prison, scumbag. Let's continue.
I was sitting about 3 feet from Malik when he gave that statement. It was very difficult to watch.
That was very difficult to watch. Malik's testimony. Malik's crocodile teared Phil testimony. You know what, Poppy? First off, I would love for CNN to give you the pink slip, because this is the worst fucking journalism I've ever seen, period. At all. I've seen fucking Fox News journalists do a better job than you. You fucking moron. Secondly, you mentioned Malik Richmond. Heartfelt. Such a difficult thing to watch. It's so difficult to watch. I think I can top that, Poppy. I think I can top that. You want to know what is really, really difficult to watch? I wonder if it's difficult to watch a drunken, stupid, fucking jack-off sitting in a chair, laughing like a fucking hyena as he talks about how he took advantage of a 16-year-old girl, bent her over on a fucking bed, raped her till she bled, have her cries and whines go all over the place as he laughed like a fucking loser. And then he sits around with his homies, with his bros, talk about, I raped her to death. She's so fucking dead, man. She's deader than Michael Jackson, man. She's so fucking dead. She's so fucking dead. I think that's more difficult to watch than a crocodile-teared fucking bullshit. Wasted time of an apology. Those two might as well just have been carted out. You should have just carted those motherfuckers out. Who gives a shit about what they say? They said enough in that 12-minute laugh-a-thon. That fucking Comedy Central special. Rapezilla in Steubenville. That's comedy genius. Fucking pathetic. And this is pathetic fucking journalism. And the only fucking reason why these two guys are getting off with this bullshit is because of this jockorama system crap that's going all over the fucking world. And you want to know why I know this? Is because, one, I've seen this shit firsthand. Not necessarily with rape, but with many other things. And two, more importantly, this is not the first case that's ever happened in this sort of situation. Steubenville, if I'm not mistaken, had either around 12 to 20 other rape cases within 10 to 20 years. In a 10 to 20 year span, they've had 10 to 20 other fucking rape cases just like this. No, not even 10 to 20. I think it was like 5 to 7 years. 20 rape cases just like this. High school teenage jack-offs sitting around having a good laugh at somebody's expense. It's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. But let's watch Poppy Harlow's fantastic, wondrous fucking journalism.
And you know, something that came up throughout this sentencing, Candy, was that Malik's father got up and spoke.
This is probably the worst part. Honest to God, the worst part of this fucking thing. Just I'll raise the volume a little bit. Let's listen into this fucking great comment here.
He's been living with guardians. His father, a former alcoholic, gotten into a lot of trouble with the law, been in prison before. And his father stood up and he told the court, I feel responsible for this. I feel like I wasn't there for my son. And before that, he came over to the bench where his son was sitting. He approached him, he hugged him, and he whispered in his ear. And Malik's attorney said to us in the courtroom, I have never heard Malik's father before say, I love you. He's never told his son that, but he just did today.
Oh, how heartfelt. Oh, that's so heartwarming. That my heart is having tears right now. That's so depressed. You know what's more you want to know what's more heart-wrenching? Hearing a story about a 16-year-old girl going to a party. She gets drunk. She's in a bathroom puking out because she drank too much alcohol, because alcohol is a disgusting and vile fucking piece of a waste of an existing organism. And just the fucking creation of alcoholism is disgusting. The creation of alcohol is disgusting and vile and pathetic and fucking just pointless. She's puking it all out because it's nothing more than poison. These two jack-offs come right behind her, pick her up, put her in a fucking bedroom where she's slightly unconscious. They rip off all her fucking clothes. One of the jack-offs takes off his pants, whips his dick out and shoves it into her. She kind of realizes what's going on, but she doesn't know what's happening. She's just kind of realizing what's happened. She's like, oh, I don't know. Oh my God, I'm being raped. Help me. Help me. And she's crying. She's crying for her mother. She's crying for her father. She's crying for help from anyone, and no one's responding because everybody's too fucking piss drunk to do anything. So this laughing hyena, pathetic white fuck of a human being gets into her, pulls it out and sticks it right in her ass. And she still cries. She still cries. She doesn't want anal. She wants to leave. She wants to go home, but she can't because this pathetic fucking fool of a human being and his best friend who's recording this whole fucking thing, who's laughing in the background while jerking off, waiting for his turn. He's laughing his ass off, and she's like, I don't, help me. Then all of a sudden everything goes black. She doesn't know what the fuck's going on anymore, and while she's knocked out, the two guys have their fun. They play around with her knocked out corpse, putting them in multiple positions, fucking them senseless, fucking her senseless. And then they get out, they put their clothes back on, they leave, they meet up with their bros. One of them whips out a camera and starts recording as the other jackal of a human being starts cackling like a hyena about how they raped a girl till she died, how it was so funny to fuck someone who was incapacitated. She wasn't even breathing, man. She was so fucking dead. She was deader than Michael Jackson, man. Recorded that video, closed it up, went to a computer, posted it up on YouTube, and had all their fucking butt buddies and best friends see that bullshit. I think that's more heart-wrenching. To find out that actually happened. 2, that was not the first time that actually happened. And 3, and most importantly, that the two people you try to fucking glorify in this fucking news report were the perpetrators. And that they did it, and that no one is discussing the victim. Not even after this. After this segment, I'm going to stop it right here. You can watch the rest of the video, because this one's going to be long as hell. But after that, the broadcaster talked about how would this affect the two boys? How is this going to affect them? This is disgusting. How will it affect them? And I was just thinking, just the first thing that came to my mind. How does being raped affect a poor girl, an innocent little 16-year-old who's probably going to be called a slut and a whore by the people that she thought were her friends? Probably going to be called a slut and a whore by the rest of the school, be humiliated and degraded by the school itself, be suspended for unprotected sex. How would that feel? What's the effects on that, huh? Can you give me that, CNN reporter? Can you give me that bullshit? How about that, Poppy Harlow? How about that, Poppy Harlow? Do you know that shit? Do you know how that fucking feels? You don't? You don't at all whatsoever? Alright, fine, then shut the fuck up. Send in your pink slip and leave. The other two fucking hacks that talk later, though one of them is the legal correspondent, they should all have their fucking pink slips. This is scummy and this is pathetic. The only story that should be told is the story from the eyes of the rape victim, not from the rapist. Not the sympathy tears from the rapist. And this is fucking god-awful. This is disgusting. This is degrading and pathetic. And anyone who finds any sympathy in these two fucking jerk-offs, I don't want to even fucking know you anymore. Get the fuck out of my life. So, I'm done here. If you want to watch the whole video, I'm going to link it underneath in the description. This is fucking goddamn pathetic. There's 2 minutes left. I don't want to talk about it. I just want people to remember this. Just remember that today, you have just witnessed national news trying to make rapists be sympathetic characters and have rape victims be non-existent factors. Remember that this is the day when the national news, that journalism died. A lot of people said that journalism died years before. A lot of people say that journalism has been dead for years. But I will say, after Bradley Manning, Julian Assange, they're still bringing it out. But no. Once you make rapists turned into victims, that's when the day journalism died. That's the day when all the fucking future Julian Assanges in the world and all the future muckrakers put their pens down and say, you know what, I might have to find another profession. Because I don't want to be associated with scum like Poppy Harlow. I'm done. If you disagree with me, which I don't know who would disagree with the fact that glorifying rape is pathetic and wrong, but if you disagree with me, leave a comment, leave a video response. I may look down on you, but that's just me. Other than, I can understand if you're a troll. I don't care. But if you honestly believe that, go fuck yourself. If you agree with me, leave a comment, leave a video response, like, dislike, whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm not doing this for profit. I'm just fucking pissed. Because this actually happened. And I'd like to make sure that at 11:06 p.m. of the 18th of March, that is the day journalism officially died. This has been Liam. Thank you very much for watching.